Today is Sunday, January 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Really quick market update here. I'm going to do a longer form video tomorrow, given the fact that the commitment of traders data is delayed with the holidays, and that comes out tomorrow, I believe at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. So that will give us a little bit more data to inform our decisions as far as the contrarian system that we utilize. But right now, what we're looking at ahead of the commitment of trader data from a momentum standpoint, I think there's really only one chart that is standing out to me right now. Now, we're obviously catching a little bit of a bid and a little bit of a bounce or a potential corrective bounce on the S&P and the NASDAQ. I do want to point out, though, if we look at this trend line, we're actually breaking below. I'm going to actually make a little bit of an adjustment here to about there. We're actually breaking below this, and so we've confirmed below this line, which previously support, now resistance. Then we bounced off of this, got rejected, and headed lower. So right now these charts are pretty bearish. They don't look good. But if we can break back above and reclaim above this resistance line, then we should have more room to the top here. But let's see. Right now, we're not, from a momentum standpoint, there's not really much indication here. I mean, the Russell is starting to rotate, and that could be a good buy opportunity. Gold is the closest one here that's actually crossing as of today. If we get some decent price action in gold, that should trigger a buy and an entry for us. Other one that could be close, I think silver's pretty good. It's getting close to it from a momentum standpoint, but it's also set up with the commitment of traders data where we have a lot of speculators that have been selling this thing, so it could be an opportunity for us to go long. It also looks like cotton's getting pretty close here, but with the red candle from yesterday, or I believe on Friday, that is probably not going to get us in on cotton right now. But cotton is trading at some pretty historic lows. So if we actually pull this down and go to a multi-year, I mean, we are trading at, what is this, 5-year lows? Yeah, we're trading at like 4-year lows down here if we kind of pull this here. We haven't traded this low since probably 2021, so about 3 and change year lows. So I do like this kind of, what I'm noticing here, anytime it's breaking below this kind of support line, we find a pretty quick bid and bounce off of it. Anytime it kind of falls below, it seems to be reclaiming that line. So if this does sell off a bit further, I do kind of like the idea. I'm going to add a horizontal line here. I do like the idea of accumulating in this range because, again, every time we get down below 67-ish, we end up reclaiming back up to even like $72, $73. So this could be a good buy zone where we're seeing just kind of a consolidated range for cotton, but I would like the momentum indicator to trigger on the daily. But let's see if we maybe enter a small position here if we get a little bit more of a sell-off. And then we're also looking at Bitcoin is starting to reclaim, but not quite there yet from a momentum standpoint. Same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum's actually back up to almost 3,700. And then copper. I like copper here as well if it can catch the momentum indicator. So I also want to draw attention to some cycles. So some cycle forecasts, what we're looking at for the markets here. So actually, another good chart to just quickly flip over to on the weekly setups is crude. Now, if crude can actually take out this resistance line, we could head a lot higher on crude oil. So I may look to get an entry here if we do break out past this line. If we get rejected, then I may look to watch this thing get a little bit lower first. But what we're looking at here, so for energies, crude oil, pretty much everything except natural gas from a cycle standpoint is bullish for Q1. Precious metals as well, gold and silver likely lower mid to late Q1. But palladium, platinum, and copper to head higher here in early Q1. So I like if we can get in a position on copper. We're currently in a small position on platinum, and I haven't really been following palladium lately, but that might show an opportunity for us to get in here. I think anywhere around $900 here. It's kind of like similar to the cotton chart, to be honest. Anytime it kind of bounces below over the past, let's say, Yeah, I mean, this is pretty similar, right? Like we have this key support line, and then anytime it heads lower, I'm gonna get rid of some of these lines. Let's get rid of that one and that one. Anytime we head really like here, we're getting a quick bounce back. So anywhere in like this range is really a good buy opportunity. I mean, we start trading below that and then we're up back to 1100. We start trading below 900. We're there temporarily and then we're back up to 1200. We're trading back down. We bounced off 900 recently, went back to 955. Palladium is looking like it's in a potential accumulation range or getting close to it. Livestock neutral positive in Q1. Hogs should fall until April. So we have been watching the Hogs contract and it has had some real bearishness to it. So we're going to keep an eye out on that one as well. Currencies bullish Q1 for US Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. So we're actually tracking New Zealand and Aussie right here from a commitment to trader standpoint. So that could actually turn out to be a good opportunity here. We're very oversold and we're in some multi-year lows for the Aussie dollar and the New Zealand dollar. So we might be able to find both an opportunity from a cyclical standpoint, but also from the commitment of traders to get in here. Now, softs, I've highlighted cotton to rally, so that's another good opportunity on cotton in late Q1. We'd have to just find a bottoming pattern there. Stock indices should head higher for Q1 as well, which looks like they're going to start to do that. Bonds should rise in early Q1 on the 30 years. So the bonds have been really beaten up here. If we actually go back here, I actually like, maybe not from a trading standpoint, but maybe more so an accumulation in a long portfolio. I kind of like, I mean, anytime we're around this range, right? Anywhere in here, it seems like when we dip below, assuming that support stays, because if that support breaks, although I think this is a multi-year low, yeah, I mean, if that support breaks, we could head back down to 107, which was tagged back in October of 23. So, yeah, I mean, if this breaks, then we're headed a lot lower. If this doesn't break, what happened last time when we were around 113? This thing rallied, bounced off, and then rallied all the way up to 127. Now we're heading back down there. Can we confirm support and head higher? That's the thought. I don't know if that's going to be the case, though. It's going to depend on economic data. So that is another thing we're watching is the bonds. And right now we're in on natural gas. And this is from old commitment of trader data. We're in on natural gas. We've re-entered over the weekend. We're probably going to be out of that either today or tomorrow with commitment of trader data. We're watching lean hogs, watching silver, Aussie dollar, euro, New Zealand dollar. We're in on platinum. We're watching Ethereum and Bitcoin for possible swings to the upside. And I've got some stock positions. Other than that, that is pretty much what we're looking at. I'll have more, again, of an in-depth video on Monday tomorrow, just when we get that commitment to trader data. I would like to cover a little bit more of the positioning that's changed and what we're looking at. So we'll talk again tomorrow, and thanks for listening.